At 6:30, we're going to call to order the Public Works and Utility Committee meeting. Attendance has been taken. We do note that we do not have a quorum, so we won't be voting on anything tonight. And we'll still go through the packets. Will you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, that open up comments from citizens.
I just have one question. Tara, did you find anything out from Danes about using trash cans or keeping our boxes?
Permanent containers for
Yes,
recycles?
thank you.
They said no, unfortunately, they're not gonna be able to accommodate that right now.
Okay,
They'll have to keep it to bags or the boxes.
okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I had one from a couple of people about recycling. This was what I would consider to be a good question. I don't know how they pick up the recycling, but I was under the understanding they had a trailer, they picked it up, put the recycling in one or the other. But
They're running
recently-
a completely different trash truck, Chris.
They're what?
Trash
They're
truck.
running a trash truck, but they run a completely different one.
Okay, but I've had two citizens say that they picked up the trash and the recyclables at the same time.
That's all I had
Was
to
there
say. I've had one.
recyclables right next to their trash?
No, mine was across the driveway,
And they went in the same truck. I've heard that from 2 or 3 people
yeah.
now.
They picked mine up separately.
Yeah, they were
Is
coming through
Is
at
there
3
a
o'clock in the morning and
certain
picking up the
neighborhood, like,
recycling,
the
and especially on our side of town.
Okay.
It's
I
just one
would
of the places
say-
where they pick up on Friday, trash on Friday.
Yeah,
Because the recycling truck, he told us he was running it at 1 in the morning, so it's running at a different time than the trash truck.
I would say if you've got people calling and stating that their recycling is being picked up with their trash, that it's possible that the recycle truck has missed them, so they need to call up here and let us know. And then we can send a note to Danes that says this address is recycling, so they make sure they're hitting it.
But it was the same day as your trash. It was like Beth said, it was Friday.
Well, I
It was
know,
the same
but
day
they're
as your
picking
trash.
recycling up very early.
So they're driving around
So
at 1 in
if
the
they
morning picking up
see-
recycling?
Yeah.
Yes.
Dave
They-
does it.
they came past our house at 3 o'clock one morning.
They
picking up
didn't
the
get to my
recycling.
side of town till 7:30, 8 o'clock
Jesus.
in the morning. 'Cause it was after I left. They got it before Jana left.
Okay,
It was about
so-
7:30.
Just saying, I
I think we're
haven't
still
had,
in the newness of this.
right,
so
right, so just,
They don't want to just leave the recycling out there, so they might
Right.
be picking it up with the trash. So if they're noticing that their recycling is being picked up at the same time as the trash, have them call us so we can let Danes know that this house is recycling and it was picked up with their trash this week.
well, okay. I just guess it's hard to understand it, but, because a couple of people I talked to are very articulate what they do, and their stuff is separated, and it's very clear that it's recycling versus trash, I think. So, I mean, we just need to, I don't had nobody call me, I've had people actually officially call and talk to me about it, a couple of people. One says they have a video of it, potentially, if need be. But, I don't know. If the
Sounds like
same
just
truck and you're
an
telling me it
information.
got missed, then I think we're in the newness of this, but I think we need to kind of get some clarification of exactly how you're picking up, and.
Yeah, I know it's in a trash truck. They don't
Okay.
have
Yeah.
a separate recycling.
I understand that, but,
trailer.
okay, but I don't know how you're gonna separate it if you throw both of them in the back end of the same trash truck,
You can.
because you're gonna smash it at some point.
Well, all the plastics and stuff is in bags, cardboard and papers on its own, so they're probably separating it when they get.
When they dump it at the MRF, it'll get separated there. Probably what they're doing.
It's a lot of labor, okay.
I would say they're not separating and they're charging us.
I think that's the concern. These people said I will separate it if it's just been fully, so, I don't know. I'm just brought it up because it's brought to me, by 2 or 3
I've had
people.
conversations with Dane and
Got it.
the conversations I've had with him, I know that our recycling is going to the recycling center. We got a contract with that recycling center.
Any other comments from citizens? Okay, moving on to Public Works, Street Department's activity reports in the packet. Bill, anything you want to point out?
fought a little snow for a little bit last month. Part of the month, they just worked on that, hauling snow, plowing and spreading materials, and got a little drainage work in after we wanted to back up. Did some culverts and stuff, worked on some ditches, little sign work. That's kind of a pretty normal month for us, really.
Any questions? Okay, we'll move on to number 6, Water and Sewer Department, activity reports in the packet. Aaron, anything?
We had several leaks over the last month, service lines leaking. And then we had a few yokes, meter yokes that we replaced over the last month, but throughout a couple of them got broke whenever it was cold. We had a couple days, so we went through and replaced them while we had time.
Any questions? No? We'll move on to the electric department. Austin, anything you'd like to point out?
No, we got all of our lights in, so we've started replacing those. There's quite a few street lights out, but we're waiting on a batch of them to come in, so we got most of them replaced. Did quite a bit of substation maintenance. Got the heaters replaced in both substations, and the desiccant level changed out, and nitrogen changed out, so those should be up to.
I thought those light bulbs were supposed to last a long time. That's why we went to them.
Those energy efficient ones?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
They
think that
do.
was some bright.
well, just as long as we change them again.
I mean, why are they going out? Is there a reason or?
So, and we changed the sensors on them because they were staying on all the time too, it was another
Yeah, but these
problem,
aren't
right?
staying on all the
Did
time.
they get fixed?
The light bulbs at the square, so whatever contractor was, that was before my time, but
But-
they put a reducer in there and that reducer breaks, and then the bulb just sits there and wiggles when the wind blows, and it sits there and sometimes turns on, sometimes blinks.
Well, I mean, I've seen 2 or 3 of them, that you can get them on because,
Yeah, those are, he's talking about the street lights that stay on.
But the overhead ones, like on
overhead.
poles, those, there was a wiring issue,
yeah,
and
we get that figured
we
out.
put up like 20 of them, and then turned around and they called me and said there was a wiring issue, and
Got it.
so I had to take them all back down, and they sent us a new batch of them.
And they're working, or,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
when you
the
do
new
it.
ones are working.
Got it. Okay, good.
So the adapter's what's causing these to go?
Flash, yeah.
So we're taking, when we come across the ones like on the square, we're taking the adapter out of them and putting, like, somebody before me ordered different bulbs for them, and they're bigger, so we can put those in there, and it gets rid of that reducer, so shouldn't run into those issues.
I think I remember us talking about that a couple of years back, and then we were going to a different size bulb, so we didn't have that issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not cheap, are they?
They're about $100 a piece.
Any more discussion for the electric department? Okay, moving on to number 8, Public Works and Utilities Director, Matt.
We've been working on some preliminary budget stuff with the department heads. And just, we're trying to look at getting our facilities more efficient shops. We've got shops that have 0 insulation in them. And we've got places that have equipment sitting out in the weather that doesn't need to sit out in the weather. So that's kind of one of the big things that we're gonna look at doing this year, hopefully, if the budget numbers all work out. Trying to think, other than that, just been working with Bartlett and West. We're trying to get everything up to speed with the installation, so when June arrives, we're ready to rock and roll on the new Slaker. So we're just trying to get ahead of that. Been working with Blake with those documents, on what we want to have done. And I think, if the emails that I saw today from Blake, that DNR had sent back, a reply on the wastewater side, that's getting ready to close out, I believe.
Hallelujah.
Yeah. So.
They'll
it's,
have a final pay app at the next meeting.
yeah, Bartlett. should be, that wastewater one should be done.
You need to have cake and ice cream or something, that,
Do you feel comfortable with the schedule for the quoting of the installation on the cycle?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, we're still kind of working, trying to get the old Slaker out. So haven't been real clear on what all's leaving, so we want to get that done, and that way we know exactly what we're gonna have to put out for construction wise to make that other one work whenever it's in, so. Just kind of doing some coordination with them and figuring that out.
did we get coordinated on the other one being taken out?
Not yet. I'm waiting to hear back from outside counsel, and I'm working with their attorney.
Okay, thank you.
That's it for me.
Any more discussion for Matt? Okay, any as may arise? Take a motion to adjourn?
Second.
So you're motioning, so
Second.
if you're gonna second?
Yeah.
So, even though we don't have a quorum, we're still gonna vote to adjourn, all in favor? Aye, any opposed?